Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. Happy Tuesday. I didn't film yesterday because I'll be honest with you, it was a little bit of a shit show of a day. Rolled up to Pilates, I signed myself in, and then I got a call from Hayden. Hey, I didn't realize that you had called the vet to schedule an appointment for one of the cats. They want you to bring the cat in at 11. So I had to mosey my way home, grab one of my cats, bring them to the vet, bring them back from the vet, and then try to figure out what the fuck I was doing the rest of the day. Being thrown off your schedule when you're like trying to get back into a routine is just, it's not great. It's not great. I did rally and I did make the rest of the day better, but I was just not in any form to be vlogging. So I'm here today to kick off the vlog and tell you what we're up to this week. To be honest, mostly reading and eating. That is what I want to do this week. I want to read and eat for this video. I'm also going to be reading for this vlog that I'm doing over on my main channel where I'm reading the Powerless trilogy. I actually just finished Powerless and filmed a clip, and now I'm filming clips for this one that I haven't actually started yet. Anyway, I promised y'all last week that I would show you what foods that I'm eating this week. I guess the exciting thing is that I'm getting my first Factor delivery today. Fingers crossed everything goes to plan. It's supposed to be delivered sometime between 4:41 and 7:41 p.m. I have been trying to kind of like figure out what I want to do for lunches and dinners going forward. It's so interesting going from tracking everything, being in a calorie deficit, not tracking anything, not really eating enough for like 3 months, and then trying to immediately eat in maintenance. I can eat a lot more food than I used to, which I like quite a bit. Trying to get enough nutrients and or trying to parse out, am I getting enough protein because I'm trying to body recomp right now, has been interesting. And so I'm trying to experiment and figure out like is working for me routine wise, also what meals I want to eat. Part of that was ordering Factor for this week. So Hayden and I have been eating dinners at home mostly the past couple of weeks. We've been getting fast food like a couple of times, but mostly eating at home, which has been pretty good. I'm looking for a solution for lunches. Hayden's just really busy, and I can have him like meal prep us some lunches for like the first couple of days of the week, but I'm not going to ask him like midweek on a work day to make us more meal preps. I also like having variety in my schedule. So in the past, what I've done, get Snap Kitchen. Snap is a local thing. I don't know if it's based in Texas, but I know most of their locations are in Texas, and it's a place that you can go to get pre-prepared meals that are not frozen. They tend to have slightly better like macronutrient breakdowns than frozen food, and I have really enjoyed their dishes. I think especially in a calorie deficit, they're especially good because, you know, just what I needed for my particular body to be the size that, you know, I was aiming to get to. I needed to eat around 400 to 500 calories per lunch or dinner, and most of their meals are around that, which I really liked. And I had been interested in trying Factor because it's a very similar thing. It's pre-prepared food, it is not frozen, it has decent macronutrients, but the calories on a lot of their dishes were a little bit higher than I needed for my particular goals at the time. Guess who's no longer in a calorie deficit? This girl. So I'm trying Factor for the first time this week to see if their meals are better, similar quality, if it's something that I want to add into the rotation. It is kind of one of the only things that I have disliked about Snap Kitchen. I really enjoy the meals. They're all really tasty, especially the ones lately. The Mediterranean chicken, stunning. I absolutely love it. If you're in Texas, you definitely need to check out Snap. Their prices are better too, I should say, than Factor. Don't rotate flavors that often. It's kind of a seasonal thing for them. Pretty much every week, week after week after week, if you're doing it, it can feel like a lot of the same food. And if you like variety, I think Factor is a little bit nicer because of the scale that they're on. They change their menu a little more often, and they just have a lot more options per week as well. So I'm interested to give it a try and let y'all know. I'm not sponsored by Factor. I wanted to like give you my honest thoughts. Yeah, just another potential option to put into the rotation. Also, I like that it gets delivered to a door because I think you can maybe get Snap Kitchen delivered, but I pick it up and it's kind of far from our house. And anyway, so that is what I'm doing for lunches this week. And then dinners, I feel like this is like the happiest I've been with the dinners I've planned. I've had 2 of them already. One was better than the other, but like all of the recipes I'm genuinely excited about. And I haven't really like wanted to rush out and get fast food. I mean, we're gonna have to at some point just because like I didn't plan 7 meals, I only planned 5, which is normally what I do. The 2 that we've had so far were the chicken alambre tacos from slenderkitchen.com. They were pretty good. I wouldn't say there were anything to write home about, but the macros were pretty good. I think that, could be wrong, I think that they ask you to like cook bacon along with the other things in the dish. Definitely cook the bacon separately. I'll link the recipe down below. I think for us, eating Mexican food at home is like not that exciting because we can get better Mexican food at like pretty much any restaurant around us. It's no Houston, but Austin, we have some decent Tex-Mex around us. It was a decent recipe. The one that I really liked was the one that we had last night. It was crispy chicken Caesar sandwiches. The picture looked very mediocre, and it was on, again, again, one of those like healthier macros kind of blogs, which tend to be kind of hit or miss. But this sandwich was so good. It was just like a crispy chicken breast with like a Parmesan coating and then a Caesar dressed romaine topping on a potato roll. It was so good. We had them with some Ore-Ida fast food fries. Delicious dinner. It was quite a delicious dinner. I'll definitely link that recipe in the description down below. And I want to try more from this blog now because I know that recipe was really good and deceptive. Because again, I feel like the picture looks okay, but like the meal itself was very good. The other recipes that we have on deck are tomato zucchini pasta. It just looked really fresh and delicious. We'd probably add chicken to this because I like to eat protein in every meal. A creamy chicken potato casserole recipe. I feel like casseroles are very Midwest, but this one, she's really quite tasty. I ate this a lot when I was on my weight loss journey. I don't really know how to let you know what's different about this compared to like other casserole recipes, but it's quite tasty. Then the one that I think I'm most excited about is Nashville hot tenders and dill fries, dill aioli. That sounds so good. I love spicy chicken more than anything. And I've been wanting to like just eat more things at home or similar to things that I would get while out, but just like a little bit lightened up, you know? I think often when we eat at home, I try to make those like the healthy recipes. Like those are the things that we're eating at home. They need to be healthier than the things that we get as fast food. And I don't think that's like a bad thing, but I think sometimes that leads to me feeling like I don't really want to eat this salad. I want to like go get a chicken sandwich, you know? But if I eat a healthier chicken sandwich at home, no, I just feel like I need to do more of that going forward. Yeah, the two things we've had so far this week have been pretty good, and I'm excited to try the other things. I don't know what we're gonna have for dinner tonight, but Hayden's done with work in like an hour and a half, and I will probably show you what we end up eating. Other things that are going on this week, I do desperately need to plant things, so we will be gardening at some point, probably later on in the week after I am finished editing and getting all of the stuff to the sponsor for this particular video. And I want to finish some romances. I need to read some romances. I got a couple off of hold from Libby, and we'll read those together. So reading, gardening, we're eating. There might be some fashion stuff sprinkled in, but I'll be honest, this week I'm feeling a little lazy with my outfits. I can show you what I'm wearing today. It's like really not that exciting. Is these mid-rise baggy jeans from Gap. I do really enjoy these. I have these also in kind of like a stripy traditional denim. They're really comfortable. I love wearing these. Other pair I have in a 2, which is my normal size. They sit kind of lower on the hip, kind of like you see like a little sliver of tummy, which I'm getting more comfortable showing. And then these are a 0. So they are like an actual mid-rise like they're supposed to be. This butter yellow color, they're so comfortable. They're like not super lightweight, but like more lightweight than most jeans. This little striped tee is from Old Navy. I've been looking for a really good ribbed short sleeve to replace the ones that I've had in the past from Target. The Target ones have changed. They don't have this like nice collar. This is like very similar to the Target ones that I really like, so I quite enjoy this. I think it was like $9. And then I'm wearing Reebok's, I don't know what these are called, like Club C or something like that. These are one of my favorite pairs of sneakers. I have them in white and cream because I just wear the shit out of them. And then lots of jewelry. I like this outfit. I don't love it. I feel like it's not my most me outfit. I tend to prefer things that read a little bit more like feminine and flirty. I probably would have paired this with like some sort of heel or something, like a little Mary Jane to like make it a little more exciting. I was feeling lazy today, so that's kind of what I went with. Yeah, I will say I'm a little bit run down, just a little bit, nothing crazy. Been having some like spotting and some cramping earlier than I normally do in my cycle. My cycle has been, again, like so regular the past 3 months, which is so exciting. And I think I'm on track to have like another like textbook for me perfect cycle, which is really exciting. I cannot express how happy it makes me to have regular periods. Do I want to be bleeding? Not so much, but I've been feeling a little run down. I woke up in the middle of the night with cramps, and I woke up and I was like, is my period starting? It's like a couple days early. It didn't start. I just got woken up with cramps, which is fun. Didn't like sleep as well as I wanted to. I went to a kind of a hard yoga class today. I'm trying a new format that they're testing at 6 called Mobility. Really nice, but more intense than I was expecting. So I'm a little tired mentally. I don't know. I just have the uglies, you know what I mean? That week before my period, I feel ugly, feel bloated. I am just like not feeling my most robust, but I'm trying to rally and like to make this a good week despite that. So I'm giving myself grace. If I need a good cry or if I need to like take things easy, it's also something to expect. I think she's coming on Saturday, so hopefully she's not in full force, I guess, on Saturday, and we can still cycle. Honestly, like want to fall asleep right here. I'm gonna go. I'm going to try to get a little bit of the way into Reckless for that video I'm working on. I'll check in with y'all at dinner time, unless you know what we're having, goes, etc., etc. Hi guys. It's not dinner time yet. I'm listening to the audiobook for Reckless, and I wanted to pop in because I just saw a TikTok that really like spoke to me, and it might be words that you need to hear. It was words I needed to hear this week of my period where I'm just feeling down body image wise. Don't get so addicted to the process of becoming that you lose sight of how many times you've already arrived. I really needed that because I'll be honest with you, This past week have just had kind of shitty body image. I am in the process of doing body recomposition, which is essentially taking body fat off of your body while trying to grow muscle. And it's something that you can kind of do when you're in a caloric deficit, but not really. You can maintain your muscle, you can lose body fat, but you're not going to be gaining significant amounts of muscle in a calorie deficit. I think that, coupled with the fact that I was, not doing really anything for 3 months, has led to a body that I am both so happy with and also not disappointed by. I'm definitely not disappointed with my body, but like, I want to look like I work out. I want to look strong. I want to feel strong, but I also want to like visibly see muscle. And that's been really getting to me, I think, this past like little while, as I'm like getting back into eating at maintenance and kind of tracking what I'm eating and eating enough protein and fueling my workouts and stuff. Like, just like, I wish I was already there. I don't think I've ever really taken a second to just like be, and taken a second to just be proud. And yeah, I just like took a second to really, I guess, thank myself and thank my body for getting me to this place. It still feels pretty fucking surreal, to be honest, that like I have been on this journey. I've gotten to share this journey with you guys, and like, I'm here, you know what I mean? Like, I actually got a picture on my memories today, 2 days before I found out that I had a miscarriage. I was like sitting at my kitchen table, just smiley. It was like a random selfie. It's so crazy to think this time last year, I was in just a completely different place, and I could not have dreamed of a life that looks like the one that I have now. And it's not perfect. And there's some things I miss, the ignorance, I guess, was kind of nice. Like not knowing what miscarriage felt like, not knowing any of that stuff. But I also, I can't believe that I am where I am, and I'm really grateful for that. So yeah. Being self-congratulatory in the vlog. I feel silly, obviously, doing it. Like, I am a human being who is a little, like a tiny bit sometimes self-aware. Like, I know can definitely come off as stupid and whatever, but like, want to share my musings, and I want to share these moments. I want to give you permission to thank yourself, to thank your body, to love yourself. Because I don't feel like we talk enough about that, and especially with the shit that I see on TikTok, skinny talk, toxicity, just there's so much bad shit going on right now. I want to be a place of encouragement and a place where you can come to feel like you are appreciated. There's just so many places on the internet that are mean, and I don't want to be that place. So I like to be nice to myself, and I want to encourage you to be nice to yourself. It can be really easy to get caught up in the, okay, what's next? But sometimes it's okay to just be really proud of yourself and to be really happy with what you've done. So I'll talk more about all of this in my weight loss video. I have been formulating the things I want to say, because I want to keep that one a little more brief than the previous one I've done. A little bit more about the feelings and a little bit less about the science, because I did that already. I've been surprised at the unexpected emotions that have come up losing weight, and it's mostly been very positive. It feels like I've come home. It's really cool, but there's still stuff that I want to change. Most days, I would say, I am really positive about the things that I'd like to change, about the fact that I want to put muscle on and I want to look like I work out, but some weeks are harder than others. And when it's the week of my period, I'm a little bit like down, self-confidence wise, and it's normal. I'm gonna keep reading. I got distracted by my TikToks, but I need to keep reading this book. I did download the audiobook because trying to read with my eyes right now is just not really working for me. Also, the font in this book is just like really small and like displeasing. I think I want pasta. I think I want that zucchini and tomato pasta. It sounds so good. Aiden is in the process of stealing a Gatorade from me. I am about to dive into not pasta, but the dill pickle aioli tenders Nashville hot chicken. I don't know. It looks good. Yes. I think I would like a fork and a knife. Okay. Because there's like hot sauce on the tendies. Yeah. This looks quite good though. These fries are so good that if a recipe calls for like French fries, Hayden just makes these. Are you sure?
Hot from the dishwasher.
You gotta taste test for the people. Hayden asked if I could handle a whole chicken breast on my own. I was a little insulted. All right, let's give this ranch a go.
Not ranch.
It's ranch adjacent.
It's the quote-unquote dill aioli, and it is none of those things. I'm not complaining because it doesn't taste bad.
Honestly, pretty good. That's all I need.
Definitely if we were talking the ranch to aioli spectrum, this is 99% on the ranch spectrum and it's 1% on the aioli.
Now to try these pickles that Hayden bought.
I got nothing on my pickles.
They're okay. They don't have enough zest.
I would agree. What the fuck are you eating? What are y'all doing? Why are y'all all the worst?
I'll talk to y'all later. Okay, Binky is screaming. We just got our first Factor delivery, and I was a little bit worried about it because they used kind of a delivery service that I have never used. Well, I will say never used before. I think we got one HelloFresh delivery from, is it Veho? Veho? It's kind of one of those random delivery services. Not food time. Random delivery. I'll have to hold him. He thinks it's dinner time. It's not. He has about an hour before he gets to eat his dinner, but they didn't use FedEx or UPS. They said that it would be delivered between 4:45, 7:45, and it got delivered like after that window. So I was like, oh, I hope this is still good because it's not frozen food. And I didn't know if it would be cold enough. It was perfectly cold, and I am pleased with how everything's looking. I guess I can show you. I bought a lot of meals because the first box was like 50% off, I think. So I've got them all loaded up right here, and there's like some behind this too. So there's so many of them. I have heard that they freeze well, and I know it kind of like defeats the purpose of it being fresh food, but it would be nice to have some like healthy meals with veggies on the side ready to go, you know, days when we don't want to cook or where we like forget to meal prep. So I've heard that the ones with cream sauces you want to eat first and or not freeze, but I did get quite a few things that aren't with cream sauces, so I will be freezing some. I think we got 12 meals, which is so many. There's not that many days left this week that we like need them for, but yeah, I'll keep you posted on these lunches and like how it goes. Oh boy. Hi friends. You remember how we were talking about my period was coming? It's here. She's arrived, and it would explain me having horrendous period cramps, not last night, but the night before. I did also wake up last night with period cramps. It was actually more early morning, but it's never a great way to be greeted. My period always likes to greet me that way. I don't ever start my period like during the day. It's always in the middle of the night, and it's like, start squeezing her insides. Anyway, I decided to wear a sweatshirt to match my mood. This is from Gab. I didn't actually. I was just excited because this is, you know, fairly new acquisition. I really wanted a red casual top. It's strange that red is my absolute favorite color. Always has been, even in my beige phase, but I just didn't have anything like this. I didn't have any sweaters or anything this shade. And hello, now I do. Popping in though, it's crazy. I haven't even fed him yet, and I'm not feeding him for another like hour and a half. And he's like, Mom's filming, so that means I need to bother her. I wanted to pop in and tell y'all about my meals from Factor because I had a meal for lunch and for dinner. Aiden actually is playing a show tonight that I am not going to because I don't feel well, but I was kind of on my own for dinner, which was kind of unexpected, sort of expected. I was expecting to go and get some chicken nuggets, to be honest, but I was like, you know what? I have all of these Factor meals, 50% off the first box. I have enough. Like, let's just go ahead and eat one for dinner. They were both really good. Let me look at my LifeSum app and let you know what they were called. Cool thing is they have little QR codes to scan on the boxes, and it scanned really easily into my app, which I loved. I didn't even have to like manually input anything. For lunch, I had green chili queso and chicken thigh pasta. This one I enjoyed. I thought it was good. The only thing I didn't love was the broccoli. I felt like it just felt like frozen veggies and didn't have a ton of flavor. So I just like cut it up into pieces as I was eating and like ate it with the other stuff. I'm someone who, if like there's 3 things on a plate, I want a bite with all of those 3 things together. They're like all savory things, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get myself to enjoy chicken thighs more. I'm not as big into chicken thighs as I am to chicken breast, but this was very juicy, very tender. There were no weird bits. It was a very well done pasta. For dinner, I had the honey butter chicken breast with mashed potatoes and zucchini and caramelized onion, and that one was really phenomenal as well. I think the thing that I would say comparing this to something like Snap Kitchen is these flavors feel a little bit heartier. Meals in general just feel like they stick to your ribs a little bit more, which is what I look for in food. And my flavor profile, taste palette, whatever, I tend to prefer like Southern cooking that's a little heavier. I'm not into really fresh flavors, you know what I mean? Like I don't love salads, I'll eat them, but I don't love a salad or a lot of like citrus flavors. I like mashed potatoes, okay? So both of these were really good, really comforting, and I'm glad that I ate these instead of getting chicken nuggets. Like I don't place any morality on food or food choices, and if I want chicken nuggets, I will eat chicken nuggets, but on my period, I find that if I treat my body a little bit kinder and actually eat things that are a little bit more nourishing, I tend to feel better. So I think that was the right choice for me today, and I am honestly happy so far with the 2 meals that I've had. I can honestly say with just these 2 meals, I would definitely order from Factor again. They are a little pricey, but I think for what you're getting, the flavors are great. The chicken on both was great. This one had a chicken breast, and it was, again, juicy, tender, nothing weird about it. It's one thing that I think if you eat chicken, you can relate to or like maybe care about is the quality of the chicken, and if it's like funky or not. No funkiness, all seasoned. Texture was still great, even though it was microwaved. So yeah, honestly, I'm pretty pleased, and I would definitely order again. I think we will be ordering again next week. I'm happy to report that Factor is not bullshit, and since I'm not sponsored, I can actually say that. Yeah, good stuff. And just a nice convenient option if you're someone who like just doesn't have the time or the resources to necessarily prepare your meals every week, especially I think as a single person, this would be awesome, especially if you're someone who's also really busy. I did not go on my walk, did not pass go, did not go to my workout class this morning. My cramps were so bad that in a way that they haven't been in a while that yeah, it just was not in the cards, and I didn't feel great about that, but I'm actually glad that my period decided to start today instead of Saturday, so I can probably still go to my cycling class. I will say it's a little weird to have started my period this early. Like I said, the past 3 periods I've had have been 34-day cycles, which is my normal, and this one was 31 days. But I do remember ovulating earlier in my cycle and being like, huh, this feels a little early. I don't like track things day to day. I don't know how y'all treat your cycles. I'm obviously not on birth control because my man can't get me pregnant. I like to keep track of my basal body temperature and my cycles generally, just because like, I don't know, I want to make sure that like I'm on the right track with what I'm doing for myself. Pepper just really wants to show whole, and I just think that he needs to be a little bit more mindful and demure with it. I don't track day to day everything, but very aware of when I ovulate. My body very much tells me when I do, and I do tend to like record that just for the purposes of, you know, tracking my cycle. And something I will say in my weight loss video, my Apple Watch is so ugly, but it is such an incredible tool. Like, it is genuinely so good. I've tried the Ultra Human Ring. It's also good. This has given me such peace of mind when I was trying to conceive, peace of mind tracking my cycles now, you know, my activity levels versus the amount of food I need to eat. It is not 100% accurate, obviously, but it has been pretty fucking accurate for me as I was trying to lose weight and now as I am maintaining my weight. I'm not saying rush out and get one, but if you have one and you're like, I haven't worn it in a while, but like I want to start making healthier choices, making healthier habits a thing, it's just so nice. I really use it to record my workouts and just other things, and it has been genuinely so nice. To me, it's more of like a sanity check rather than a I live and die by my Apple Watch. I like to track my steps, which I have on my watch face. I like to close my rings daily, and I also use the move calories, or like the total, I guess, calories that it tells me that I like burned in a day, my TDE. They tell you your TDE in the fitness app. I use that as sort of, again, a sanity check against what like a TDE calculator is telling me, because I think sometimes it can be hard to know what your activity levels are, what is light, what is moderate, but by using this I can tell, okay, it looks like I typically in any given day am like between lightly and moderately active, right? And again, I don't use it as gospel, but it's good to kind of sanity check. So I really do like my Apple Watch, and I wish it wasn't so big and bulky, and I wish it didn't have a screen, honestly. I don't like it. I mean, I like that I can see my rings, I like that I can see my steps, but I don't like that it's like another way that I can text or like be contacted. So anyway, just be talking health and fitness this week, I guess. He is kind of on my shit list. He threw up all over my carpet yesterday, and I did clean it up, but I need to get the big carpet back out and like really get in there. Any other things to tell you? Oh, this sponsorship that I'm doing over on my main channel this week has been different. Not that y'all really care, but I'll let you know. Normally what I do is submit the entire video with the sponsorship to the sponsor. Like the video that you see is what I send to them. This time around, I was able to just submit the intro with the sponsorship attached to them. So I'm not done with the video, but I am done with that sponsorship. That's already approved. And then I can go live whenever I want, basically. I just have to send them the link, which is kind of crazy, and I like that. And I talked to my management today. I was like, we do that more often because that's pretty nice. It gives me more opportunity to like read a book, because let me just tell you, I'm not saying this vlog's going bad, but the last book and the beginning of this one are pretty fucking boring, and so I'm kind of dragging ass on it a little bit. I've been watching YouTube videos and just kind of lounging, because again, it's like it's the first day of my period. I feel like that's just tends to be what I do. Weird things today. Today's just been kind of an off day. And it's also weird because Hayden's not here, and he's been here super often just because of his foot injury. He couldn't wear like closed-toed shoes for a while. Also because he's had like random colds lately. He never gives them to me, strangely, but he's been sick like 4 or 5 days, and then like a month ago, same thing. I don't know what's up with him, but he's not here because he's doing better, and I miss him, and I don't know, it's been a weird day. Do you think I want to get farther into this though? I would like to not use the fact that this video is approved already, procrastinate finishing this, but we'll see how that goes. I think I'm gonna go scroll Pinterest. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Hello friends, happy Thursday. You ever just like sign up to get your own feelings hurt? Got my first DEXA scan today, and I knew it wasn't going to be good. If you're unfamiliar with what a DEXA scan is, by the way, it is a scan of your body to show you your bone density, your muscle mass, and your body fat percentage. And we're going to be talking really candidly about body image and about all of this stuff. So if you don't want to hear about that, skip ahead. I'd been meaning to get one of these done for a while. Pretty much everybody in my family gets them done fairly regularly. And I think it could be a really helpful way to track your progress and also to make sure that certain metrics are in line, not even from a vanity perspective, but from an actual health perspective. Was intending to always get a DEXA scan done after I lost weight and then get another one done after I do a body recomp. I knew that losing weight, even if I was so amazing about lifting the entire time and like slow weight loss, whatever, I knew that I was probably going to lose some lean mass and that I probably wasn't going to look or feel exactly how I wanted to once I had, gotten done losing weight. That is the case. I just didn't expect it to be as disappointing as it was, like seeing everything together. I think what's also been challenging for me is to not beat myself up about the past 3 months that I didn't do anything, where I was not eating enough food and when I wasn't really exercising, and trying not to look back at that and think like, oh, maybe if I had, stuck to what I was supposed to do, like my results would be different. It's like I can't go back in time and change things, but it's tough. So I don't want to get into every single detail, but basically my body fat percentage right now is like 28.1%, which for someone my size is high. Like that is a high body fat percentage. And it's obviously all relative to like how just generally big you are as a person. That's not like a terrible body fat percentage anyway. Having, X chromosomes, I'm more likely to carry more body fat than someone who has a Y chromosome. It's just not what I wanted to hear. And my bone density is pretty bad. It's not in like the bottom percentile, but it is at the bottom part of the next percentile up. They had like 3 different percentiles for my age group. Like I'm not great, which sucks. Like I don't want that to be me. Like literally I've referenced so many times, like I don't want to have sarcopenia. I don't want to have osteoporosis. I don't want to lose muscle mass. I can also feel the cat hair in my eye and it's driving me crazy. I was already thinking about my kind of routine and what I wanted to change up and like what I think the best plan of attack is going forward. I think that's kind of been the problem, is like I'm trying to get back into working out and I do have like some limitations when I just start out. Like when you're really, really sore from lifting, it can be really challenging to go directly into like a cardio class or something like that. Because even though you're not engaging the exact same muscles, like you're engaging some muscles, you know what I mean? Like if I'm doing like a barre class, I'm engaging pretty much every muscle in my body. So easing back in is important, but I'm also just trying to see like more in the medium term what I should be doing. How many days a week should I be lifting to see the progress I want to see? Do I need to eating more or less based on the numbers that I have seen? Also, I will say that getting my body fat percentage was also helpful because it can help you get a more accurate read on your TDEE, know your body fat percentage. So that was actually kind of helpful. My TDEE is lower than I wanted it to be, or that I thought that it would be, which kind of sucks. I'm trying that, like I'm trying to just use this as an opportunity, make I don't want to say big change, but like it's an opportunity to see a big result. Hopefully, if I do the right things, hopefully I can see dramatic results, right? Like if I already had a really low body fat percentage, then this wouldn't be as momentous maybe at the end. I'm trying to look at the bright side of things, but it's hard. It's hard. I'm trying not to get too down about it. I know it's silly. Like at the end of the day, I didn't have to do this, but all of this is stuff that I value. Like I value my health. I value having muscle. I value living long into the future. And with where I'm at right now, if I didn't do anything, I don't know that I would like have the longevity that I'm looking for and the life that I'm looking for into the future. So some stuff's gonna have to change, obviously. And I knew that, and like I gearing up into my workout routine and stuff. But yeah, I also did some more thinking, right? And I hesitated even saying this because kind of embarrassing to change my mind. But after rescheduling my cycle bar class like 2 to 3 times, I think I'm just gonna face facts that cycling is simply not really something that I want to do. My sister has just been like touting it as like the best form of cardio and just so great for so long. And I was like, you know what? Even though I didn't like love the Peloton, like maybe I'll love class. No, I don't think it's for me. It's not the kind of cardio that I like to do. To be honest, I should probably just use that day in my schedule for like another weightlifting day and or like a different bar day or something like that. I don't know. Kind of back to the drawing board, I think. I need to do some deep thought and some deep thinking about where I want to go. Because I have a vision in my head of what I want to look like. I have a vision in my head of the muscle I want to have on my body. And I think have I said this? Have I vocalized this? I just want to look like I work out. That's really, I mean, that's not it. But visually, that's what I want to see. I don't want a 6-pack or anything crazy. I'm not trying to have like dangerously low body fat percentage. I just want it to be, healthier. That's really it. I also have like visceral fat, like not a ton, but I want to get rid of that too. There's a lot there. Fine. We are gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Need to do some reading though for other videos. I almost done with Fearless, and I actually have started an audiobook for the Patreon video that I'm working on. It's a thriller. I'm about halfway-ish done with that, which is great. But there's 5 books for that video, so I have a lot of reading to do over the next few days for that. I kind of want to start in on on something for this video because we haven't like talked about any books. I don't like that. I was thinking maybe we could listen to, is it Unloved by Peyton Corinne? I did finish Unsteady and we can talk about that. Yeah, I'll check in with y'all in a little bit. I did, by the way, have another of the Factor meals for lunch. I had the, I think, smashed black bean salsa chicken or something like that. It had kind of like a creamy sauce on top. The side was like chopped zucchini and corn. Very good, very flavorful. I really enjoyed it. Hayden, not as big of a fan. I mean, it could have just been the dish that he had. He had some sort of like chicken with asparagus, or no, I think it was green beans and like mashed potatoes or something, and he was like, it was kind of okay. I feel like he's also kind of a harsher critic just because he loves to cook. So like, I don't know. I don't know if we're eating at home tonight or not. We shall see. Hello, my loves. Happy Sunday. It's Sunday. We haven't talked in a hot second, and I actually just edited some vlog clips. I'm trying to remember what the last clip was. A Thursday clip. So yeah, it's been a hot second since we've spoken. Honestly, I have just been kind of busy, kind of tired all the time, and trying to make sense of like what I should be doing. I'm in much higher spirits though, I will say, despite all of the things that I've been up to. Or maybe because of the things that I have been up to. Today, went on my morning walk. I lifted. I actually spent a good amount of time getting today's video uploaded. Attempt at not procrastinating didn't exactly work, but that's fine. I got the video done. That's all that matters. I have been reading for Patreon, which I'm also feeling good about. Don't think that video is gonna go live today, even though I wanted it to. Really, I wanted to pop in and just let you know what I've been up to. You probably saw my cutesy little clips. I was able to get the gardening done that I wanted to. I feel really good about it. It was more painless than it has been in past years, and I think that that is like kind of the beauty of just tending to your plants and or watching them grow year after year. Basically, when we moved in, the only like plants that were planted were pretty fucking ugly, I'm not gonna lie, and a good amount of them died after the freeze, the big freeze that we had a few years back. So I decided to take it upon myself to completely clear out the front beds in our front yard and plant some Texas natives there, because I don't want to say all of the plants that were planted were not Texas natives, but a lot of them weren't. So I did my research and I had so much fun planting things, and over the past few years seeing what has, you know, bloomed and sprouted and like stayed looking nice versus what has died back has been really interesting. If you are in Central Texas, might I recommend Texas sage? It's my favorite plant. It's so beautiful. Pale green, purple flowers. It's a shrub and it gets fucking huge, and she's amazing. Anyway, nice getting to plant the lantanas that I wanted to plant, because even though there was a little bit of grass in the front of some of my beds, the majority of them were like free of weeds, which like never really happens. And I think that's because everything is so bushy. There's such a good canopy going on everywhere that I'm getting as much weed growth, which is really cool to see after God knows how many years of me having to like go outside and just like get on my hands and knees and pull weeds out. The palm of this hand hurts so fucking bad. Got everything planted. It was super easy, to be honest, and I needed to plant some crossvine for me in our backyard, which I am so fucking hyped about, and I am determined to ensure that this stuff doesn't die. Planted it a little late season, and I'm just hoping that it holds on. We're gonna water it really well and hopefully that it will, you know, take. So I did on Friday. Then yesterday, I went to my first barre class in a while, and that was actually really fun. I've gone back and forth on my feelings about barre. Signed up and really loved it. And then after a month or two, I got not super in love with it because it wasn't fitting well into my routine and my schedule, just with how sore I was getting from weightlifting. And I kind of, I fell off with it. I say fell off. I discontinued my membership and started doing other stuff. Got back into Pilates. I've really been enjoying Pilates, but I will say I have tried to craft my perfect workout routine. Challenging because you have to like strike, in my opinion, the perfect balance between cardio, weights, and stuff you love. And you can love weights and you can love cardio. That's totally fine. You can like never take a workout class if that does not excite you. But for me, like to incorporate things that are simply fun, because I work out every day. I want to have fun with it. I have landed on a 3-day-a-week lifting routine. So I'm doing upper body, lower body, full body as my present split. And I have really made sure that each day kind of doesn't misalign with like the class that I have the day after, right? So today I lifted upper body, and tomorrow I have a Pilates control class, which is like a more weight centric, I guess you could say, like weightlifting centric sort of Pilates class, but it's very lower body based. So upper body shouldn't really affect it. Lifting days, 2 Pilates days, and 2 barre days is really what I have kind of landed on. And I purchased like a pack of yoga classes a couple of months back that I'm trying to work through. So I'm going to be doing yoga here and there whenever I can't get into one of the classes I want to go to for barre or for Pilates, and or doing them at night. Some like restorative chill yoga classes at night sounds pretty nice. So that's the routine that I've kind of landed on. I went to, or like I said, on Saturday, and it was kind of crazy. It was like the cardio one, Empower. The class that I like the most there, I like a good, like, you know, let's get our heart pumping kind of class, because my thing about cardio, I like doing it. I don't like doing it on my own. I just like simply can't convince myself to do it unless it's like the Stairmaster at the gym. So it was really nice kind of getting my heart rate up, and I was able to like perform so much better than I ever did when I went the first few times, which I guess makes sense because I am in better shape than then. But like even with a 3-month break basically from exercise, I was able to like pull it off, which was very nice. So looking forward to more of those. But today I lifted upper body, and one thing I think I left out of our DEXA scan conversation because I didn't want to get into the weeds of things was the minutia body fat to muscle I have in each area of my body. The DEXA scan actually gets not super granular, but it does tell you like arms versus legs versus trunk, and not really to my surprise, my upper body, pretty bad like percentages, and I don't want to say bad, like it just, there's a lot of room for improvement, let's say, my muscle density, my bone density, and my arms. So that was actually kind of helpful in, again, crafting my routine and making sure that I'm getting enough work done in upper body. I actually prefer working upper body anyway, but I think like looking back at my routines in the past, I still prioritize lower body, and a lot of the workout classes you go to and to prioritize lower body work as well. If you do any upper body, it's like things with like really tiny dumbbells, you're not going to get the hypertrophy you need to grow muscle. I went fucking hard today. I'm sure I'm gonna be so sore tomorrow, but I think I'm viewing the DEXA scan with kind of new eyes after, you know, a couple of days of being a little bit sad about it, using it to kind of optimize my training and optimize what I do going forward to make sure, again, that I have that bone density, that strength, that muscle that I really want, that I crave, that I want to see, and that I definitely need, again, for longevity. I don't have a lot to share with you. I've been eating my factory meals, which have been delicious. We actually finished the ones that we had out in the fridge that we hadn't frozen, which felt really good. I like hate wasting food, but every once in a while it happens, and it didn't happen this week, which was really nice. I'm trying to see if there's any like meals that I want to report back on. Not really. We have had some decent stuff this week. The chicken Caesar sandwiches we actually had again last night because we still had some buns left over, and me and Hayden are like kind of hooked on these. It's just so simple but so good, and it looks so plain, but it's delicious, and it makes us like want to try different variations of the same recipe. So I enjoyed that. That's probably the highlight of my week food wise. Two things I wanted to say though, and this is just obviously a very chatty vlog with not a whole lot going on, so sorry about the lack of activity, but one, I have decided that I'm doing a little mini bedroom makeover, which I will show y'all soon. I didn't want to do anything major in here, but I've never been fully satisfied with our bedroom. It feels a little bit too bland, a little bit too beige, and as I am getting more into color, I want to introduce some color into our bedroom, but keep it still pretty calm, pretty tranquil, and not make it too busy in here. So I decided to get a new duvet cover. I was able to find a really good deal on one that I had been looking at on Pottery Barn's website, basically less than a third of the price on eBay, new with tags. Incredible. So it's a blue duvet cover, and I also got some curtains for in here. I'd been on the fence for a while about curtains, and I also got a cushion made for the bench over there. I have a window seat. We never sit over there because, you know, there's normally throw pillows because I don't normally make my bed, and also there's just no cushion there to like, you know, cushion your hiney. So I ordered a cushion. I'll show you that stuff like as it comes in. I'm sure a good majority of it is going to come in next week, so I can show you that because I'm excited to like get stuff in here and just like make it feel a little bit more finished, you know, a little bit more completed, because that's really the feel that I think I'm going for as I'm really developing my style. Like bathroom perfection. Like I really don't want to change anything. Maybe down the line I'll change the mirrors in there, but I mean like aesthetically I just love the classicness and the black and white with like the pops of color, the red and the navy, and I want to just sort of feel more complete in the rest of my house as well, I guess. So we're doing some stuff in the bedroom. I'm excited about it, and I will be showing you that stuff. It was also kind of like on my bucket list for the year was to spend less money on stupid shit, spend more money on like home reno type stuff. And while this is like soft furnishings, I do think it's going to have an impact, and I am excited about it. The last thing I wanted to touch on, I kind of briefly talked about this a little bit, but I did want to, I guess, reflect more on it. Yeah, I think it was yesterday was the anniversary of my D&C, which I know seems weird to commemorate or to think about, but I'd been thinking about it a lot this week. It's bittersweet. It's so weird to a completely different kind of life than I had expected, but to also feel really, 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 really good about it. I think I still want to be a parent, I think, but cannot express how grateful I am for the trajectory my life has taken me down, because I cannot imagine having a kid right now being most likely in the worst shape of my life, deeply unhealthy most likely as well, to have completely turned things around. And I'm not perfect and I'm not in perfect health, but like I have a regular cycle again. I don't have high blood pressure anymore. I don't have insulin resistance anymore. I've really like taken control of my health, and to have feel like I found myself again is something that I am so grateful for. You know, maybe I'll have a kid down the line, but it's gonna be a second. That is something, actually, if you were curious about, Hayden and I have been talking about more, you know, if we do want to have kids when we want to. And you know, the political situation in the US definitely makes things less appealing, having kids less appealing, which I don't want to say it never has been an issue before, but like it is definitely an issue now. Like that definitely you know, is something I think about. But for me, just from a health perspective, again, getting this DEXA scan done and knowing what I need to do for my body and the amount of time it takes to make the changes I want to make, definitely not attempting to have a kid this year. About 85% sure I also will not be attempting to have a kid next year, which again is so fucking crazy. I turned 32 late next year. My mom had me at 26 and my sister at 32, and it's just weird to think of like having kids by that age, you know, or like waiting so long. But I think it's gonna be okay, and I need to put my oxygen mask on first, shall we say. You know, I need to take care of me first, and I've always maintained that. Not always, but after the D&C I maintained that, like, yeah, that's kind of my priority, and it is. I think it would be easy to say like, oh well, I've lost weight and I have a regular period, let's do this, but I'm still not there yet, you know. Still need a couple of years to be selfish and to focus on me and the actual physical form that would potentially carry a kid. So that's not to shame anyone. I need to point that out. I have a shitload of muscle when they have a kid. Like, I really don't think that is that big of a deal when it comes to, like, you know, getting pregnant, having a kid or whatever. But I'm just really grateful and lucky for this time that I do have to spend on this. So yeah, thanks for giving me the space and the opportunity to talk about all this stuff. I don't know if this is stuff that all have been thinking about. You know what I would love to know in the comments, actually, what stage of life you're in, if you feel comfortable sharing, like kind of what you are up to and the concerns and the thoughts in your brain, you know? Are you married? Do you have children? Do you want kids? Yeah, what are your priorities right now? You know, I think that's something that I've been really thinking about this week, is like, do I care about, what am I really trying to get accomplished? Because I didn't have super big goals for this year, things super momentous. It seems like every year I'm like, okay, these are the things we're getting done. But as the year, you know, creeps forward, I thinking more about like, you know, what am I focusing on? You know, what do I want to get done? It doesn't have to be done at 100% or completed this year, but what am I focusing on? And for me, I really think those are like, you know, making my home a really cozy and permanent place, if that makes sense. I feel like a lot of the stuff that I've done in the past in our home has felt very like transitory or very temporary, but like I want to create spaces that are kind of unchanging. And I kind of talked about that a few vlogs back, you know, whenever I was decluttering like throw pillow covers, but like you to come into my house and it kind of like feel the same every time you come in. I want things to change as often as they have in the past. Like I want it to feel permanent and comfy and cozy in just the way that I want it to. Did I already say my health and fitness? That's a big one for me. I want to go on a trip with my little sister. That is something that I really, really want to do. And yeah, just prioritize spending more time with friends and family, which I've done a decent job at so far. I went to Dallas and saw some friends. That was like one of the things I really wanted to get done, because we don't get to see each other that often. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I need to see my family more often, but overall, like, I think those are my priorities this year. I think that I'd be yapping. And you know what? I haven't even told you about Unsteady, which I'm 40% of the way into, but I'm gonna wait until I get 50% of the way into it to update you, because I'm tired, to be honest. Hello, friends. I am back and looking beautiful. Let me actually take my hair down so I don't have to edit and look at my ugly self. Okay. Honestly, I think part of it is that I have been a lot more low-key with makeup lately, and I think it's just because of the amount of shit that I'm doing now day to day. I want to look pretty, I want to get dressed in real outfits, and you know, this is a real-ish outfit, right? Like the shorts match the sweatshirt, but God, it has been, you know, when you're getting into a new routine, it's challenging, I think. Like on my walk, I come back, and if I'm going to a class, I'll like stick some concealer on, a tiny bit of blush, and a tiny bit of like a lip balm, and I just, you know, go on. That's what I have going on today. I've been using a concealer lately that is really low-key. It's the Maybelline Age Rewind. They've never had that one in a shade that matches my skin. It's always been way too dark. The formulation is so lovely. It's so lightweight on the skin, and they finally have a shade that's light enough for me. So I have been slathering that all under my under eyes and on any redness that I have, taking a little bit of the Rhode Pocket Blush and just like gently patting it on my cheeks. I find, shockingly, that if you're a pale person who gets really ruddy, sometimes putting blush on can distract from any redness elsewhere. It looks intentional, like when you have blush on. Then I do a little bit of like a tinted lip balm. I've really been loving the Bobbi Brown one called Bare Blackberry. I don't know, I feel alive as a really pale person going to like a fitness class when I've got just a tiny bit of makeup on. I'm not the kind of person who like puts a whole face on to go to the gym. If I already have a full face on, I will go to the gym like that. I won't take my makeup off before going. It's because I don't sweat that much. Yeah, it's just been nice like putting a little makeup on. Anyway, sometimes I just leave my makeup like that. Sometimes I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna shower when I get back from that class, but I'm just gonna keep my face as is and just call it a day. That's kind of what I did today. Yeah, I just like haven't really been like getting all gussied up. I don't know why I needed to give you all that explanation, but it's weird. It's definitely a weird thing for me to feel okay enough to be on camera without makeup on this consistently. Maybe it's growth, maybe it's change. I also think that like as I'm aging, I'm starting to get like fine lines in areas, and I just think makeup's like not looking as nice. It's not like to an extreme level, but like the makeup that I used to do on the daily is just not looking as nice, and I'm still trying to kind of figure that out too, so it's a whole thing. Anyway, back though, I wanted to talk about books with you. I had Wendy's for dinner. It was phenomenal. Can I just say for the record, needed the salt. I really definitely needed the salt. It's so weird going from having like high blood pressure to having low blood pressure. It's definitely more normal now than it was like a month ago. It is still a little bit on the low side, and prior to putting on weight, I did have low blood pressure. I just kind of like forgot what that felt like. Luckily, that means I get to have a lot of salt in my diet, you know, get my blood pressure a little higher. So the Wendy's like revitalized me. I've been feeling a little run down the past couple of days, probably the high activity levels and maybe not replenishing my electrolytes, but she gave me those electrolytes with that salt. I also just had a couple of sweet treats, and I wanted to show you my sweet treats before we talk about books. I know. I tried these Belly Bears supports digestive health fresh fruit medley. And here's the thing, I don't really like smart sweets or whatever the fuck those are called. Not super into healthy candy. Sometimes the idea of having candy with a little fiber intrigues me, and so I decided to try these out. These were probably the least gross of the healthy candies that I've had. 3 grams of protein, 4 grams of fiber, 90 cal. Flavors are orange, raspberry, lemon, grape, green apple, and strawberry. I think the non-citrus flavors were better. Wish it had just honestly been green apple and strawberry. They would have hit, but these were okay. Actually, the texture was great. Something else that I've really been enjoying are the Tony chocolate-only little bites. They're like these little minis, and a serving size is 3 of these, but I like just 1. They're like these little medallions. I had today the chocolate caramel sea salt, and it was delightful. So that was my little sweet treat of the day. I wasn't feeling hungry enough for 17 grams of protein in my yogurt, so I didn't have my yogurt bowl tonight, but that's okay. I don't have it every single night. It's just like most nights. So books. Okay. Unsteady was what I was reading last week, and I never gave you a final update because I don't think I finished it. I liked it. I thought it was a cute book. I'm really intrigued by this author's writing. If you missed last week's vlog, the book was about Reese and Sadie. Reese is a hockey player who was really badly injured in a hockey game, experiencing a lot of PTSD post-injury and trying to get back on the ice, but not really feeling fully comfortable. And he finds solace in this girl named Sadie. And Sadie is a tough cookie. She is trying to gain custody of her 2 younger brothers, and she's dealing with her alcoholic dad while also trying to be a really successful figure skater, while also trying to get her sexual needs met, while also dealing with a shitty coach and just like a whole host of other things. I liked the way that this author wrote the complexity of being someone in college. Like, not all of us are going to experience what it's like to be a professional athlete, but I do think a lot of us can relate to the challenges of being in your 20s and the things that come with that. And I thought she did a really nice job with that. I think my like issue with this book, it wasn't even an issue. I think like the only complaint really that I had was I felt like there was a little bit too much repetition and not enough growth with the characters. This is what I was feeling with the writing. Really liked both characters, especially Reese. He was such a sweetie and like really wanted Sadie to like want him for more than sex. Not that like she was only interested in him for sex. She didn't think he was like worthy of being in a relationship with. She was just like not looking for a relationship at the beginning of the story. But I feel like that was like maybe drilled home a little too often. That's kind of what I'm seeing with Unloved, but I'm actually liking this one a little bit more, I think. This one is about Freddie, aka Matt Frederick. Why can't I remember her name? Heroine's name is Ro. Matt Frederick is kind of the ladies' man on campus. He's a hockey player. His dad, kind of an asshole from what I can tell, and no one has ever really been fully supportive of him except for his mom. He has bad with numbers. He's bad with words as well. He has dyslexia and the number version of that. So has ADHD. So he's a really hard time in school, and he's not getting the support he needs. People are calling him stupid and being generally unsupportive. He is supposed to get tutoring because he is a student athlete and needs to pass his classes to continue to play hockey. Mostly had unhelpful people, but he is assigned this girl named Ro, and Ro is just such a sweetie. Her current boyfriend, Tyler, is one of the assholes who also works at the tutoring center and is rude to our hero. But Ro sees through this, and Ro has kind of secretly always had a crush on this guy. She thinks he's really handsome, and she doesn't mind his like ladies man persona. She actually had like kind of a moment with him before the start of the book where they like hang out and really get to know each other, but she's really drunk, so she doesn't end up really remembering this time. But fast forward to the future, and she is tutoring him and also trying to get out of a shitty toxic relationship as her ex/current boyfriend. Now at this point, 50% of the book, it's her ex. Tyler is a real piece of shit. He verbally abusive to our heroine, and honestly, I have to give props to Peyton Corinne for writing an abusive relationship that feels very insidious and feels very true to college. Like, I definitely knew of friends who were in relationships like this with guys like this. A lot of the time in romance, when you see abuse, it's a very particular kind, and this is very particular to college and certain kinds of college guys. And I'm glad to see it represented, because I want women and just people in general to be aware of the different kinds of abuse and the different signs, right? Because it might not look like what you've seen in media, but I think it's important. Anyway, so basically at this 50% mark of the book, we've had the heroine like tutoring the hero for a little while. We've had Tyler, the recent ex, being jealous of the fact that Freddie is getting tutored by Ro. Finally, they've kind of broken up. Finally, Ro's had enough of Tyler's bullshit, and he keeps harassing her and like making numbers to try to bug her. But we have Freddie stepping up and being like, you know what? No, we're gonna fake date, basically. Seems to be more than willing to like help out in this situation. And I think what's gonna happen is these two are gonna date. Really seems like Tyler has done a number on Ro's self-esteem. Her feel bad about her like sexual bucket list and like the things she wanted to do. Basically calls her like sexually promiscuous for wanting to enjoy sex with her monogamous partner. He is just a total dick, and again, just like makes her feel bad for anything she wants. So it'd be really nice seeing Freddie like treat Ro how she deserves to be treated, and hopefully them get to have fun sex together. I don't know. It definitely has a different vibe and a different tone than the last book, but again, I'm seeing the similarities here in that have a lot of repetition, right? There's so much of Tyler in the beginning of the book. There's so much of our heroine crying and getting saved by our hero. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. And I think like, you know, seeing patterns of abuse or patterns in behaviors, like, it's important. But I think I would prefer to see maybe like a couple of moments of that, and then maybe like slow realizations from the heroine and like be a little bit more resoluteness there. And I'm not saying every heroine has to have the same reaction to everything, right? Or that like they should react in the ways that I would. I just think sometimes it could be painful reading like a 600 page romance. I actually don't know how long these are, but they're pretty fucking long, when the same thing kind of continues to happen over and over again. And with that last book too, a lot of heroine making progress towards, you know, being open to the idea of a relationship and then stepping back. And it happened just so many times. I was like, okay, eventually you gotta either just be with the man or not be with him, because it's rude at this point. Also, I feel like in that last book, the first one, the situations that weren't properly resolved. The story, you kind of think that something is weird with like the ice skating coach. And at the end of the story, someone finally says something and like gets him fired. But it's almost like in the epilogue of the book, like, why are we introducing that plot line at the beginning and like making it something creepy that we're all feeling the entire book and then like not really resolving it? Well, I don't know. There were a couple of issues with that in the first book. Curious to see how this book handles, you know, the plot lines that come up. Again, we're having some like B plots with Hero's dad and our heroine. I don't really fully understand her family dynamic, but she like doesn't want to bother them with her problems. There's definitely something there. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm sounding negative. I actually really enjoy this author's writing. I think she's a fresh voice, and I always like root for indie authors who have like gone traditionally published and have like had success. It just makes me excited, and hope that's me one day. I mean, I don't necessarily want to be trad published, but I admire, I guess, people who really know what they want to do and do it. So I think read something where Peyton was saying that she knew she was going to be laid off from her job, and so for like 3 months she just decided to like write a book, and that is what became Unsteady. And I think that's, I don't know, I just think it's so cool. It definitely encouragement to me as someone who wants to write. And I was actually just thinking about that as I was putting my sheets in the washing machine today. Like, yeah, I think I need to make more time for the things that creatively fuel me. That would probably help, you know, me buy less shit, and also an outlet for some of this creativity. It's like I feel the creativity welling inside of me. I definitely still have it. I think that a lot of my creative passion, not quite as fresh for some of the things I've been doing for a while. It's like once you've kind of gotten into the swing of things, it can feel a little less invigorating, I guess, which is not to say that I like don't love my main channel and don't want to make videos there, but I haven't had a lot of like really unique original ideas over there lately, and not for lack of trying, but I think that my creativity is to try something new, you know? So I need to get writing. Not that I'll probably share a lot of that here, to be honest. I really want to make it something that is kind of just for me, especially like in the preliminary phases. I do want to publish eventually, but I think I need to make it for me, you know? So I kind of want to finish this book tonight. Like, that is sort of my only goal besides, again, washing my sheets. So you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to check in with y'all one more time tomorrow on Monday. I'll let you know how this book was. And, you know, I know this was honestly such a unexciting vlog, but to hang out with y'all, and I'm glad to just be able to check in and share all of my random musings. Hopefully you have this on in the background while you're doing something fun. Hello friends, happy Monday. I have my hair back in a style that I have not had it in a while because I just feel gross, which makes sense because I have not showered. Oh, I know, everybody's screaming, everybody's howling. I have not gotten very sweaty today, first of all. Second of all, I have yoga tonight, so I didn't really want to shower multiple times. I'm sorry, I didn't. And I'm gross, and you don't have to smell me, so that's fine. Kind of like my outfit a little bit. It's a little bit like 70s-ish. I'm wearing flare jeans, which I can't really show you, but they're flares. This top that I've had for forever, this is from like H&M, I think. It's a linen blend, and the embroidery is just pretty, so I've just kept this over the years. This little scarf, I have used this scarf specifically, and just scarves in general, to tie my hair back like this for years and years because I just don't like the way that I look in a ponytail or a bun, or just really with my hair up. I don't really have a very pretty jawline. Love myself, sure do, but there are just some limitations of my face, in my humble opinion, and having my full lack of jawline on display with a ponytail is just not my favorite. So if I can wear my hair down but also out of my face, I try to do that. I just basically take a square scarf, fold it into a triangle on itself, and then just literally tie it around my head. It's super easy. I feel like it's fairly cute, so accessorized, and I don't know, I'm feeling decent. I also put more makeup on than I've been the past few days. I have mascara, like real concealer, so she's feeling glam. To kind of end off the vlog, kind of check in, kind of talk about books. I'm doing very well today, I should say. Period is pretty much gone, which I love. Walk was delightful. It was breezy. It was easy. Didn't feel as winded as I have the past couple of days, which I guess makes sense. Again, I've been run down because of my period, and maybe just like, you know, the getting back into an exercise routine, but do it better today. Pilates class was good. I was a little nervous because I lifted yesterday upper body, and I was like, should be interesting because it is, you know, the more like weightlifting Pilates class, but as per usual, it was mostly lower body focused. Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling more confident about the workout routine and the split that I've kind of created for myself. We'll see as the week goes on. I'm combining barre with Pilates with weightlifting. It'll be good. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm in high spirits, I guess. I mostly wanted to check in about books though. Finished Unloved by Peyton Corinne, and I really actually enjoyed this book. I mean, I enjoyed Unsteady as well, and I honestly think I'd probably rate these similarly, though I did like this one more. There's just, it's so tough because I don't want to be hypercritical, especially when I enjoy a book. I can see flaws, and there were some things that didn't work for me, but like overall, I'm impressed, if that makes sense. Basically, this story is, again, just about these two people who feel generally unloved, feeling love. You know, our heroine goes from being in an abusive relationship to being with a guy who has a lot of love to give, and who unfortunately hasn't been very well loved by people around him. We learn more about his family life. His mom passed away 4 years ago. His dad's a piece of shit, and he kind of like reconnects with one of his old hockey coaches. It's kind of always there for him as a father figure, so that was really sweet. We get to see a little bit of like comeuppance when it comes to a couple of characters in the book, so it was a very satisfying read. I do wish there had been like maybe just a little bit more complexity. I feel like this author really likes her damaged heroes, really likes giving her characters trauma, but I feel like I want just a little bit more in terms of watching them grow from it. It isn't quite as simple as just like entering into a romantic relationship that's successful that kind of helps you. I know that she like, the hints are there, she understands that, but I didn't fully see it on page. And yeah, I think some things wrapped up just a little too quickly for my taste, but overall it was cute romance, and I liked it, and I listened to it this morning on my walk, and it was just like such a pleasant listen. What's interesting to me though is I don't want to speak incorrectly, but I think both of these books have marriage and baby epilogues, which like may or may not be your thing, and normally I don't even think about it, but this one I was just like, it kind of hit me a little bit. Yeah, I mean, we already talked about, you know, kids and stuff. I was thinking about this yesterday, and I want to know if anyone else who's dealing with infertility has ever felt this way, but I did not mean to talk about this right now, but I guess I will. Honestly, like, wish that I didn't want children. I say that I would be okay if I didn't have kids, 100% sure, like, when we're gonna have them, if we're gonna, you know, keep trying IVF or whatever, and that's true to an extent, but in my gut, in my soul, I know that I want a kid, and it kind of sucks, to be honest. I wish that I didn't have that desire, and sometimes I wish that it would just go away so that I could just like live my life, not have to think about it, but no, I still very much want kids. I very much don't want kids right now. I'm pretty fucking sure I don't want kids next year, but like, I really do want a kid. It's stupid to like dislike that desire, but I think it makes sense. Can't have it easily. It's not something that like comes easily to me, and so it would be so much easier to just be like, let me find new dreams dreams or whatever. And I have in a way, like there's definitely things that I'm excited about. And I know I don't have a kid. I will be okay. But yeah, sometimes I wish that desire would just disappear, and it doesn't. It has not for me. I was thinking about that yesterday. Again, all of these feelings really brought up by, the anniversary of my D&C and of my miscarriage and all of the stuff. I'm thinking about it again, obviously. But yeah, I am mostly secure and calm and happy with where I'm at right now. But it doesn't mean that like I don't think about these things or that I'm like, I love life. Like this is so great. Like this is not the life that like I envisioned. But it is a good one, and I'm mostly happy with it. So anyway, one other thing I wanted to share. I've been on the hunt for activewear lately, which I feel like shouldn't be that surprising because, well, I'm working out a lot. But I've been having to contend with the fact that I have been working out so much that the amount of like nice activewear that I had invested in semi-recently is just not enough for the amount of exercise that I'm doing. So I wanted to look at cheaper alternatives for activewear for some of the occasions where people are not necessarily seeing me, if that makes sense. So I go to Pilates or I go to the gym, I want to feel confident, I want to feel my best, and so I want to wear my nicer sets there. I was thinking like maybe I could get some CRZ, maybe try some Old Navy activewear for the first time and see if that could maybe suit my needs. I specifically found a set from Old Navy that looks so similar to Beyond Yoga sets, and I received those in the mail. I want to show you the try on. I actually like have the clip over on my camera already. I got these activewear sets at the beginning of the week. I have to say, not to spoil anything, very impressed. It's not the exact same quality as Beyond Yoga, but it's pretty damn close. And for the price, you can get like the sports bra and the matching shorts I got for less than the price of one item from Beyond Yoga. So I'm happy with that. And my plan is, here's kind of like the activewear setup I need. I need shorts and sports bras with like a loose fitting tank that comes up high on my neck and covers a decent amount of my back for my walks. I don't want sunburn. I really do not like sun on my chest when I walk, but I do need some support for the girls. I don't want to wear leggings because it's hot outside, so that's my walking outfit. For the gym, I like to wear long line sports bra and shorts or leggings, normally in a very supportive fabric like Alpha Elite, think Gymshark, think seamless material, that like thick polyester, no front seam, makes the butt look good. And then for Pilates and yoga and barre, I like Beyond Yoga. I really have enjoyed their sets, like the space dye. It's supportive without being too compressive, stretchy. It's really nice. So I've got some Beyond Yoga stuff and I wanted to kind of, replicate that, I guess, in some of my walking wear. I wasn't sure like what materials I wanted, but I got some stuff from Old Navy that I want to show you. Also, I did get some stuff from CRZ I have not shown you, and I really like it too. I'll link the stuff in the description that I have. I wanted to try their new shorts that don't have a front seam. They have a little bit of a butt scrunch, nothing crazy. Supposed to be kind of a dupe of the Align leggings from Lulu. They're lovely. Highly recommend. I wore them today on my walk. They also have some that are like identical to Lulu's Align shorts. They don't have the scrunch and they do have the front seam. Also got 2 sports bras, both of which I like. So again, I'll link those in the description. I've always like ridden really, really hard for CRZ, but I hadn't really re-upped on a lot of my CRZ stuff just because I don't find that their waistband is compressive enough for me. It tends not to be something that like I want to wear to yoga or, Pilates. Like I don't want it to slip down. A walk or something, like the material is so lightweight. I like it for that situation. So anyway, I'll link that as well. But I'm going to leave you here, say thanks so much for watching, and going to show you right now the Old Navy stuff, but I didn't want to just like not leave you with an outro. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, so I just got the delivery from Old Navy. I thought that we could compare it to the stuff from Beyond Yoga. Hopefully Chan of the intro told you all about what we're doing. Wanted to see if I could find some cheaper alternatives to activewear I'm loving. My favorite brands right now are Alpha Elite. I do like their kind of like seamless collection for the gym. Then for pretty much all of my other classes, I really like Beyond Yoga. They have cuts that I find nice. The fabric is very thick. It holds up well to washing. And I really like the fact that shorts in particular, the top waistband seems to be kind of like double lined almost. It just has like a very supportive feel to it. Don't like stuff that's skin tight, but I also don't like something like a Lululemon Align that's sort of like loose through the waistband, because I tend to find that kind of stuff just, I don't say sinks down, but doesn't stay up, I guess is what I'm trying to say while I'm wearing stuff. So I grabbed a pair of Beyond Yoga shorts that are comparable to the Old Navy ones that I just purchased. And I also grabbed top. I guess I didn't really need the top, but I wanted to like compare the fabrics because I've heard that this fabric is comparable and it looked comparable on the website. So it doesn't have to be the exact same quality, but if it's similar, that would be nice. Okay, feels pretty similar. Be pleased with. Okay, so let's examine. Okay, so this is a small. I have a small in Beyond Yoga. I have an extra small in Old Navy. Let's see how they compare size-wise. I tend to find that like Old Navy and Gap run a little bit on the big side. I wanted to size down. It looks like the leg of the short is a little bit skinnier on the extra small Old Navy, but the waistband itself is kind of the same size, and I don't have very big quads, so I think the extra small will probably work for the Old Navy, but I will try them on and like show you in B-roll what they look like. But looking at the stitching, it is, I don't think, yeah, it's not the same kind of stitching, the waistband. It is the same kind of flat lock stitch on the crotch gusset. Looking at the side stitching. Okay, so on the Beyond Yoga, this seam is not visible from the outside. On the Old Navy, the seam is visible on the outside. The fabrics themselves, I did look them up, are very similar. One is a polyester elastane blend, which I believe is the Beyond Yoga, and one is a poly spandex blend, which I think is the Old Navy. And spandex and elastane are pretty much the same thing. These fabrics really do feel quite similar. I mean, just looking at them, like, again, the stitching on the bottom of this pair of shorts is not as visible from the front as these shorts, but in terms of feel, like, they feel pretty similar. This might be, I would say, a little tiny bit plushier, like a little smoother and softer to the touch, but I mean, very similar. Like, I think if you're looking for a pretty good dupe for the Beyond Yoga, like cross waist shorts, these seem to be nice. And this is the Cloud Comfy Extra High Rise cross waist from Old Navy. Let's go ahead and pull out sports bra. That is the thing that I'm curious about. I don't have the comparable Beyond Yoga sports bra yet. I did order one for a yoga class that was really pretty. This is what I'm most interested about. Okay, so I already tell you off the bat that it looks different than a Beyond Yoga one. I got this in a small, and I think that's a good size for me. It looks to be coverage wise. I'll have to try it on to make sure. These have cut pads. I don't know if the Beyond Yoga ones do because they're not here yet, but they're like tank tops, do not come with any sort of padding built in. I usually take my pads out, so I'm not like super concerned either way, but if you like padding, it's nice that this has it. The thing that I'm a little concerned about is an elasticated band on the bra. I don't know if you can see that, but I just don't know how much this is going to be supportive whenever I think of like yoga. Okay, so they have built-in bras in their tanks. I guess this one isn't, like, you can't really visibly see it, but I feel like these tend to be a little bit more, I don't know, they seem to feel a little bit thinner this way. I guess in height, but a little bit more thick and rigid. This seems like really stretchy, so I don't know like how much would hold up. I guess, I don't know. It would be so nice if we had the Beyond Yoga one to compare to, but this is interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and try these on, I guess. I did buy two colorways. I bought this blue set, which I thought was really pretty, and this pink, which kind of similar to the Beyond Yoga set that I just got secondhand in this bright ass neon. This for $45 is a pair of shorts and a tank top for $45. The Beyond Yoga pieces themselves, I think the tanks are like $60 and the shorts are also around that, or like maybe 70. They're expensive. So I only buy Beyond Yoga pretty much secondhand. So it was really cool to be able to find stuff that is similar. I mean, it is a different pink and I'd be wearing these for different occasions. Can I justify keeping both? I don't know. Now that I have pink though, I feel like I can feel a little bit more of a difference. Like, it's definitely thinner, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. If you're looking for something that like has, you know, a ton of like tummy control or want like a thicker plusher fabric, I don't know. Let's try it on. Okay, so this is the blue set. The shorts are a really nice fit. Feeling wise, these feel a lot like the Beyond Yoga on. I think that was like the ultimate test for me, was like when I put them on, going to give me the like tummy control that I like. I hate that word, but I don't know what else to say. It's not a true compression. It does just prevent things from slipping down. It kind of flattens things out right here, which I really like. I like the rise of these as well. I actually think the Beyond Yoga might not come up quite this high, and I like a really high-waisted short. I prefer to fully cover my belly. I don't like my belly button showing. Is that weird? Sports bra. I took the cut pad out of this one, left it in this one. It was already starting to like wrinkle up in there when I put it on. That's my main complaint with cut pads. I don't actually hate the sensation of wearing them. I just don't like that they always tend to get kind of misshapen. This is definitely a light support sports bra. You're not going to be able to like really do a lot of activity if you have a larger chest. I'm a double D, so I probably wouldn't run in this or any cardio in this, but for a walk I would feel fine. Again, since I'm going on walks, my preferred walk outfit are shorts, a sports bra, and then a kind of a loose fitting t-shirt or tank top that covers up my chest. I don't want to get any sunburns while I'm going on my walks. Here the UV is 0, whatever, but I already have tan lines on my leg from my walks, have not gone away even though I stopped doing walks for like 4 months. So I'm trying to prevent sun damage to my skin. I'm not saying run out and buy these, but like kind of run out and buy these. I am very, very impressed with the quality. Obviously, I can't speak to whether or not these are going to hold up in wash, but they feel incredible. And really the stitching is not bad. It's different in some places than the Beyond Yoga. You can tell like it's not quite as luxe in terms of them hiding seams, but the stitches that they do use are pretty uniform. They're laying flat. I'm genuinely impressed. I think I'm going to keep both sets, and I honestly might get these in more colors. I want to say I got these on a really good deal. So originally these are, say, on the tab, so I couldn't actually tell you, but I want to say one of these was like 13, other was maybe 17. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, so that seems like a little pricey. These were not very expensive. I want to say it was $40 or less for each set. And again, with Beyond Yoga, one piece is like $60 to $70. So if I can get a set like this, super, super cute, be able to wear this anywhere, I love that. I mean, I could also wear this to Pilates with like a little tank over it. I mean, I could wear it like this. I'm not personally comfortable just wearing a sports bra, which is so silly because like I'll wear the tank version of these, which has like the same build. Basically, it's just longer from Beyond Yoga, but yeah, I don't know. I'm a little weird about showing my chest. I will say I do think they have a high-necked version of these as well. They just didn't have them in the more fun colors. So if you want like a high-necked tank version, you can find that. I think they have like black, maybe an olive, and then a dark burgundy or something. So very impressed. I'm so pleased with this purchase. And yeah, Old Navy, I didn't recognize your game. I do now. I just like cannot handle tags any longer. I also accidentally pulled the garment care tag out of the shorts. I was putting them on, so I was gonna have to keep them either way. I was planning on it because quality is there. Quality is definitely there on these. I need to find a way to pull this little stitch out, but hello, we love a good set. We love a good matching set.